Who is the greatest writer of all time? Is it Leo Tolstoy or Jane Austen? How about William Shakespeare? William Shakespeare was born in April 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon. His father, John Shakespeare, was a glovemaker and local politician. His mother, Mary Arden, was the daughter of a wealthy landowner. Shakespeare had 3 siblings, an older sister named Joan and 2 younger brothers, Gilbert and Edmund. Not much is known about Shakespeare's childhood, but we do know that he attended the King's New School in Stratford, where he would have studied the classics, including the works of Roman poets such as Ovid and Virgil. These classical works would later influence his own writing. At the age of 18, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, who was 8 years his senior. They had 3 children together, Susanna and the twins, Hamnet and Judith. By trade, Anne was a farmer, so the marriage may have been a way for young Shakespeare to secure some land and property for himself. Tragically, their son Hamnet died at the age of 11. This event deeply affected Shakespeare, who wrote some of his most famous works, including Hamlet, King Lear, and Macbeth, within 10 years of his son's death. During his early adulthood, Shakespeare's life was split between Stratford and London, where he worked as an actor and playwright. He became a member of a group of actors known as the Lord Chamberlain's Men, later renamed the King's Men, after James I took the throne. The Lord Chamberlain's Men were the most successful acting company in England during Shakespeare's lifetime, and they performed his plays as well as those of other playwrights, such as Christopher Marlowe. In 1599, the Lord Chamberlain's Men built their own theatre, the Globe, which became the most famous theatre in London. It was here that many of Shakespeare's greatest hits were performed, including Hamlet, Othello, and A Christmas Carol. Unfortunately, the Globe burned down in 1613 during a performance of Henry VIII, but it was rebuilt and continued to be used by the acting company until 1642, when it was finally closed down by Puritan leader Oliver Cromwell. Shakespeare's plays were popular with audiences of all social classes, and he was particularly successful with his comedies and histories. His tragedies, while popular, did not reach their full acclaim until the 19th century. During his lifetime, he earned a good income from his work as a playwright, but he also invested wisely and was able to retire a wealthy man. In 1599, the Lord Chamberlain's Men built their own theatre, the Globe, which became the most famous theatre in London. It was here that many of Shakespeare's greatest hits were performed, including Hamlet, Othello, and A Christmas Carol. Unfortunately, the Globe burned down in 1613 during a performance of Henry VIII, but it was rebuilt, and continued to be used by the acting company until 1642, when it was finally closed down by Puritan leader Oliver Cromwell. Shakespeare's plays were popular with audiences of all social classes, and he was particularly successful with his comedies and histories. His tragedies, while popular, did not reach their full acclaim until the 19th century. During his lifetime, he earned a good income from his work as a playwright, but he also invested wisely and was able to retire a wealthy man. In 1610, he purchased the second largest house in Stratford, New Place, and spent the last years of his life there. Shakespeare died on April 1616 at the age of 52. He was buried in Holy Trinity Church in Stratford, and a monument was erected over his grave. It is believed that Shakespeare's plays were written by an unknown person or persons. And indeed, for a long time, scholars could not agree on who was responsible for these works. There was even a theory that Shakespeare's friend and fellow playwright Christopher Marlowe wrote his plays under a pseudonym. However, modern scholarship has shown that there is no evidence to support this claim. In fact, there is overwhelming evidence that Shakespeare was the author of his plays and poems. So now, let's talk about the best books of William Shakespeare. As mentioned before, he wrote 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and several long narrative poems. All of these works have been published in a variety of editions and are widely available in bookstores and libraries. But which are the best books of William Shakespeare? Well, that depends on your taste. If you enjoy comedy, then you might like to start with A Midsummer Night's Dream or The Taming of the Shrew. If you prefer tragedy, then Hamlet, King Lear, or Macbeth are sure to please. And if you are interested in history, then Richard III or Henry V are excellent choices. Of course, these are just my personal favorites. Ultimately, the best book of William Shakespeare for you is the one that you will enjoy reading the most. So pick up one of his plays today and see for yourself what makes him one of the greatest writers of all time. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave us a like. You can also check out our channel for more videos about literature and writing. Thank you for watching and happy reading. Now let's get back to our video. We often think of Shakespeare as having lived and written in a completely different world. In fact, the world in which he lived was very similar to our own. Shakespeare was born into a middle-class family and received a good education. He was also aware of current events and wrote several plays that dealt with contemporary issues. For example, his play The Merchant of Venice was written during a time when anti-Semitism was widespread in Europe. In the play, Shakespeare explores the prejudices that his society held against Jews and also offers a critique of the legal system. Another example is his play Julius Caesar, which was written during a time when there was a lot of political turmoil in England. The play deals with themes of ambition, power, and the abuse of power, which are just as relevant today as they were then. In addition to his plays, Shakespeare also wrote 154 sonnets, which are still popular today. Sonnet 18, often referred to as "Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day," is perhaps the most famous. Other well-known sonnets include Sonnet 116, "Let me not to the marriage of true minds," and Sonnet 130, "My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun." It is clear that Shakespeare's work continues to be relevant today. His plays are still performed all over the world, and his sonnets are still studied in schools. He is considered to be one of the greatest writers in the English language, and his work has had a profound influence on Western literature. What is it about Shakespeare's work that has made it so timeless? One reason may be that he was able to explore universal themes that have remained constant throughout history. For example, the themes of love, loss, jealousy, and revenge are just as relevant today as they were 400 years ago. Additionally, Shakespeare's characters are so complex and human that we can all relate to them no matter what time period we live in. We have all experienced love and loss. We have all felt the sting of jealousy and the pain of betrayal. These are the things that make Shakespeare's work so enduring. Another reason why Shakespeare's work has stood the test of time is because of his masterful use of language. He was a true poet, and his plays are filled with some of the most beautiful and memorable lines in the English language. Even if we don't agree with everything he wrote, we can still appreciate his skill as a writer. Finally, it is worth noting that Shakespeare was ahead of his time in many ways. He was a progressive thinker who challenged the norms of his society. For example, in his play The Merchant of Venice, he explores the prejudice that existed against Jews in Europe during the Middle Ages. This was at a time when Jews were often scapegoated and persecuted. Shakespeare was also one of the first writers to give voice to women. In his play, The Taming of the Shrew, he created a strong female character who does not conform to the expectations of society. This was during a time when women were largely seen as property and had very few rights. In conclusion, William Shakespeare remains one of the most popular and influential writers in the English language. His work has stood the test of time for a number of reasons. He explored universal themes, created relatable characters, and used the English language masterfully. He was also ahead of his time in many ways. Shakespeare's work continues to be enjoyed by people all over the world, and his legacy will continue to live on for many years to come. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe so you never miss out on any of our latest content. Have a great day, and see you next time. Welcome to Shiner YouTube channel. My name is Alarissa Jahan Mahin. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important people in the world. You? Yes, you. You are the most important person in the world because nobody else can replace you. You are unique and irreplaceable. No one has your fingerprints, your voice, your smile, or your way of thinking. Even if someone has the same fingerprints, the same voice, or the same smile, they aren't exactly the same as you because no two people can think alike. Everyone is special in their own way. They just need to find out how. The purpose of this channel is to make you think and reflect on your life and the decisions you make every day. I will share some quotes with you that I hope will inspire you to be the best version of yourself. Ready? Let's go. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. This quote means that if you want to be happy, your thoughts, words, and actions should all be in harmony with each other. If they are not, there will be conflict and disharmony, and this will lead to unhappiness. For example, if you think negatively, but you try to act positively, you will not be able to be happy. But if you think positively, speak positively, and act positively, then you will have a much better chance of being happy. This brings us to the second point. If you want others to be happy, then make sure that your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony with theirs. For example, if you have a friend who is always negative, it will be difficult for them to be happy. But if you are always positive, then you will help them to see the good in life. Now let's move on to the next point. When you focus on the good things in life, you will attract more good things into your life. This is because your thoughts and actions will be more positive, which will make you more attractive to positive things. However, if you focus on the bad things in life, then you will only attract more negativity. So it is important to be aware of your thoughts and actions and make sure that they are focused on the good things in life. This is the only way to attract good things into your life. Another important thing to remember is that you should never give up on your dreams. No matter how difficult things may seem, as long as you believe in yourself and your dreams, then anything is possible. There are many people who have achieved their dreams despite facing many obstacles. So never lose hope. If something doesn't work out the first time, don't worry. Just learn from your mistakes and try again. And finally, never forget to say please and thank you. These are two very simple words, but they can make a big difference in your relationships with other people. When you say please and thank you, you show the other person that you appreciate them and that you care about their feelings, and this will make them more likely to want to help you. So never forget to say please and thank you. We hope these quotes have inspired you to be the best version of yourself. Remember, you are important and you have the power to make a difference in this world. Just be aware of your thoughts and actions and make sure they are focused on the positive. Never give up on your dreams and always say please and thank you. By following these tips, you will be well on your way to becoming the best version of yourself. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. Also, please like the video and write a comment below to let me know what you thought of it. Your feedback is very important to us and helps us to improve our videos for you. Thanks for watching and see you soon.